Texas League Baseball is next. And good evening from Corpus Christi, Texas, as we get set for tonight's live broadcast. And here is John Baker to deliver us tonight's game. Take it away, John. Thank you, Bob, and a good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you into Corpus Christi Hooks Baseball here in South Texas. It is the fifth game of our 6-game set between the visiting San Antonio Missions and your Corpus Christi Hooks. Well, tonight after the ball game, sit back, relax, enjoy the best fireworks show, courtesy of Dr. Pepper. Series wraps up tomorrow evening at 7:05 as both these two teams will see each other face to face, at least for the last time for now. But then we'll greet up the second half in 3 in San Antonio. So far, pretty good. Missions after tomorrow, they'll head to Arkansas to take on the Arkansas Travelers in a 6-game set starting next week. And then it'll be the last homestand of the first half between the Amarillo Sod Poodles and the San Antonio Missions. And got to say, that will pretty much conclude the home games in San Antonio. And then it's off to Midland to take on the Rockhounds there at Franco Park. Go online now at hooksbaseball.com or San Antonio Missions or anybody in the Texas League. From Corpus Christi to Wichita to San Antonio, don't matter where you're from, you can always have us dialed in and YouTube Live. And also don't forget to download Bally Live as we go through this season. Well, I'm joined in the booth by my partner and friend, Bob. How you doing there, Bob?
Doing good, John. How are you?
Boy, doing good. Well, anyway, I got to say, last night, Corpus Christi, boy, in a 2-game winning streak as we all see it, and so far winning last night by the final score of 6-3 against San Antonio. And I got to say, that was some ball game, I got to tell you. But anyway, yes, it has been a wet and rainy day here today. And so far early this morning, we had some thunderstorms. And fans in San Antonio had strong to severe thunderstorms. And so far through the western side of the city towards Bernie, they had some power flashes. They had some cloud-to-ground lightning. And so far, just a lot going on as we go through here in this one.
Boy, didn't your apartment get almost hit by lightning?
Almost, I would say, but not too bad on that. But anyway, all is good as we get ready to go. But anyway, last night Amarillo took the second place position and they clinched a second place playoff spot. And so far, Frisco and Amarillo, Tulsa and Arkansas have punched their ticket in for a first and second place playoff round spot for the 4 ball clubs. But anyway, still a lot to go through this baseball season. A lot could change into that. And so far, I mean, anybody in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th place could still get that chance of getting into the playoffs. But it's a slim chance to none if that even happens. We'll see how everything will play out. But anyway, as we go through this 5th game of 6, boy, the weather looks like it's fixing to change once again. We do have partly cloudy conditions, a temperature up to 97 degrees. It will not get as cool as we all had hoped for, but 70 degrees is what the temperature will be as we go into tonight. Corpus Christi weather, severe thunderstorms coming in tonight. And so far, we'll see when that will be. It is, boy, heavy thunderstorms possible around after midnight. But I tell you one thing, that could definitely change. And for San Antonio as well, the humidity is definitely out for tonight. And rain percentages getting up by the time we hit Sunday morning. And you got to say, it's going to be one of them things. But anyway, all right. Final scores that came in yesterday. We'll definitely take a look at those. And so far, if we didn't say any of them, we'll go ahead and have a pretty good one. But as you all may know, the Corpus Christi won last night by the final score of 6-3. Amarillo took the win against Midland, and the final score of that ball game was 6-1. Arkansas took a 4-0 shutout finish against the Frisco Rough Riders, which that there in Statesman's Park was a pretty good ball game. Northwest Arkansas took a loss last night. Tulsa took the W, and the final score 9-1 against the Naturals. And then so far, Wichita, boy, taking a loss by the final score of 10-9. Springfield did a pretty good job in that ball game and taking it final score 10-4 against the Wichita Wind Surge. Well, anyway, brand new night for Texas League Baseball, and so far we do have slight chance of a rain shower or two during the broadcast, but most evidently we will see what happens in. As I said before, the thunderstorm activity will spark up after midnight, so we'll definitely be done by then. And by golly, Mother Nature's being so kind to us as she's letting us play baseball, not interrupting any games. But most evidently on Tuesday she did that, and we got a doubleheader for that Wednesday. It was a pretty good one as, boy, Corpus Christi winning that ball game 2-1. San Antonio came back and just won a second ball game by the final score of 1-0. And then the previous two nights was 2 losses for San Antonio. And I got to say, that was pretty rough around the edges. Well, anyway, I know we're just late getting in, but we'll conclude the pregame show right now. And so far, we'll now take you down on the field as we present you tonight's game. Yeah, gotta say there, John, it looking pretty good here tonight in Corpus Christi. And so far, a lot of fans coming out to this one here this evening. Gotta say, Bob, absolutely right. Well, tonight's starter on the mound for Corpus Christi, number 53, Jose Fleury, will get on the mound for the Hooks. 4-seam changeup, slider, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball. Getting ready to go. All right, the leadoff batter, the shortstop, is Jackson Wolf as he comes in. It's ready to go, and here's the windup and the pitch. That one is going to be pelted high in the air, and that is going to go out, number 1, and that is the lead off for the game's first pitch into the start. Well, here's the San Antonio Mission starting lineups. Jackson Wolf, Kai Roberts, and Ethan Salas leading it off. Romeo Sanabria, Braden Carpathios, Albert Fabian, Rosman Verdugo, Kai Murphy, and Marcos Castañon back into the lineup as he rounds it out for the San Antonio Missions. Kai Roberts coming in as he takes a strike inside as the count now at 0-1. Boy, starting to see those clouds starting to come on into Corpus Christi here tonight. And we could have a little bit of a rain shower, but we'll see how that goes. So that will be in the count now, 0-2. Springfield and Wichita going. The Wind Surge lead 2-1. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Tulsa and Northwest Arkansas, San Antonio, Corpus Christi scoreless. But I tell you one thing, it's the bottom half of the sixth inning there at Riverboat Field for Northwest Arkansas. And that one is a swing and a miss, and they got him down. And that is out number 2 for the start of this first half for San Antonio. Ethan Salas, the next batter up. As that is outside, and the count now 1-0. Boy, Amarillo, they did a pretty good job last night, but they took it against Midland. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is popped foul, and the count now 1-1. It bounces off the dugout. Midland and Amarillo. The Sod Poodles lead 1-0 against the Rockhounds. Bottom half of the first inning. Arkansas and Frisco are delayed. It looks like they're having some thunderstorms. But most evidently, we'll see how that turns out in this one. Well, right there, play made, and that is 1-2-3. The half inning is over. So no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on as we head now bottom of 1. And it's no score through half an inning. Well, number 30 will start on the mound, and so far we'll be ready to go here in this one when we come back from our commercial messages. Well, about set to go for the bottom of the first inning for Corpus Christi. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, thank you, Bob. Victor Lizarraga getting on the mound now. So far for Game 5 for San Antonio. Got to say, a perfectly good four-seam curveball changeup and a two-seam fastball. Getting ready to go for the Missions here tonight. Riley Unroe, the second baseman, coming in as he's set to go. Wind up and the pitch by Lizarraga, and that is downstairs as 1 ball and no strikes. Well, I gotta say, Corpus Christi after tomorrow heads to Tulsa for a 6-game set, and then it'll be Northwest Arkansas after that. So 2 North Division teams, the Hooks would have to play out of state. And that one is out of play. The count now 1-2. San Antonio heads to Arkansas after tomorrow, which that's going to be pretty good. And by golly, so do we. We head to the Arkansas Travelers too. Isn't it fun that we go on road trips with the boys? I think it is. And right there called, third strike, and Unroe is the backwards K for Victor Lizarraga, and that will be out number 1. Unrow Spence and Flores will lead it off. Austin Bias, Whitaker middle. Pratt, Powell, and Janek were rounded out for Corpus Christi. 7 right-handed batters, 1 left-handed batter, a switch hitter, and so far pretty good. Lucas Spence coming in as he hits that one out of play foul, and the count now 0-1. So far, our proud sponsors from San Antonio joining in. West Creek Trail Rides, a perfectly good horseback riding place. Great place to make some brand new friends and a lot of other stuff. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, and that is going to be right there, now to play foul. The count now 0-2. Sod Poodles lead Midland 1-0. Top of the second inning. Wichita leading Springfield 2-1. In the top of the 5th, right there, Sanabria will take it to the bag himself, and that is out number 2. Sun and clouds mix, a perfect combination here tonight, but thunderstorms likely overnight. A chance of thunderstorms overnight tonight there in San Antonio, John. Yeah, I heard. That's count now, 0-1. Boy, last night was at defense. Reportedly saw a wall cloud, lots of lightning, bright flashes, and all types of stuff. That one straight away, high in the air, and it is out of here. And boy, I tell you what, Arturo Flores, last night and today, getting in that moonshot, and that's now a 1-0 lead for Corpus Christi. Man, I gotta say there, John, it's getting pretty good for this guy, Arturo Flores. Maybe they'll call him up to AAA Sugarland and hopefully get him going in AAA baseball. Well, they probably might. Trevor Austin, the hot corner third baseman coming in, will take a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on after that home run. Wind up and the pitch, and here's the high fly in the air, straight away, left field, and that is Kai Murphy to make the play. But the run comes in across the score by Arturo Flores. 1 run is 1 hit, no errors, and we now head to the second inning. Corpus Christi out in front, 1-0. Romeo Sanabria will lead it off in the second for San Antonio. We'll be right back here in this one.
Well, Whataburger is served always hot and fresh for all the people of Corpus Christi and South Texas and West Texas and so far a lot of other places. Now set to go for the second inning for San Antonio right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Romeo Sanabria getting ready to go. Middle half of the order against Jose Fleury. And the change up downstairs. The count now is no balls and one strike. Wind up and the pitch, the 0-1, and that one is outside slider, and the count now even. 1-1. Boy, them clouds starting to roll on into Corpus Christi. That one is hit out of play, and it's foul. 1-2 the count now to Sanabria. And the pitch. And that one out of play. Well, hopefully San Antonio could come in with a W here tonight. That'd be nice. Yeah, I know there, Bob. It would be. And that's outside. So 2-2 the count now to Sanabria. It's a combination of both sun and clouds tonight here. Wind up and a pitch, and that is right out of play. It ricochets foul. Man, I tell you one thing, Romeo Sanabria getting pretty good, but he loses the battle on that third strike as he swings and misses. And the first out of the inning comes in. Braden Carpathio set to go here for San Antonio. And he's going to ricochet that one foul. Well, if you're watching wherever you may have us dialed in from, we welcome you. Welcome you to Texas League Baseball, Corpus Christi. No balls and one strike. The pitch, swing and a miss. Oof. Now that right there is getting silly right there. He swings for the low top one. And that one is out of play. And foul. It'll bounce the dugout. The 0-2 delivery. And that's outside. The count now 1-2. One ball, two strikes the count. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, straightaway left. And that is out number 2.
Batting 6, the designated hitter.
Designated hitter, Albert Fabian coming in. Here's the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. Count now 0-1. The pitch. And that's going to be right there over the head of the shortstop, and that's getting through for a hit. Boy, and that shortstop tried to reach up and grab it, but he was unsuccessful in trying to get the baseball. But, hey, gotta say, base hit for San Antonio, the first of the evening. That kind of feels pretty good. Man, it sure does. Boy, that's a skied high in the air straight away. Infield fly. And that will be it. No runs. One hit, one left for San Antonio. And it's 2.5. Corpus Christi out in front, 1-0. So we'll be right back after this with our next half inning. Luis Baez getting set to go for the Hooks. All right, about set to go for the bottom of the second right now in the Hooks Baseball Network. 1-0 Corpus Christi as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Luis Baez, 5-6-7 due up for the Hooks. Taking on Victor Lizarraga, the San Antonio starter. That is in for the cold strike, and the count now 0-2. Midland and Amarillo tied at 2-2, top of the third inning. Northwest Arkansas lead 3-0 against Tulsa, bottom of 7. And that one is foul, and the count now 0-2. Springfield and Wichita, top of the 6, are tied at 2. Arkansas and Frisco still delayed. Right there, ground ball up to Rosban Verdugo, down to Sanabria, making the play for out number 1.
Designated hitter, number 24.
Ty Whitaker, the designated hitter, comes in. Here's the pitch. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to the count. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's the count now at 0-2. Wind up and a pitch. And that's going to be back up the middle, through for a base hit. So a 1-out single continues the half inning as Ty gets on base.
Batting 7.
I want to say pretty good as he gets going. Good, beautiful shot from the third to second base cameras. Here is Carneal Pratt as he goes after, comes up empty-handed. And is the count now 0-1. Pratt averaging .414 over to .500. He's had 7 home runs and 22 RBIs for Corpus Christi. That is a pretty good day for him, as getting the numbers in for this starter. That one is high fly in the air near the mound is the third baseman Rosemond Verdugo as he comes in and takes that himself for the out. And there is 2 down.
The shortstop, number 3.
Caden Cowell, the shortstop, coming in. Boy, kids really enjoying the summer vacation. I think everybody needs a vacation every now and then there, Bob. If it's a paid vacation, that is also great too. You know, I gotta say, John, what would you do if you had a paid vacation right now? Oh, I know what I would do. Right there to straightaway second, and Jackson Wolf takes the out at second, and that ends the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left on for Corpus Christi. Third inning straight ahead. Hi Murphy leading it off for San Antonio when we come back. Third inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Kai Murphy set to go. 8-9-1 due up for the top of the third for San Antonio. Thank you, Bob. And here we go. Outside is 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, I can't believe top half of the 8th inning there in Northwest Arkansas. Boy, the Naturals that lead the Drillers 3-1. That one high in the air. Deep. It is out of here. God, tied ball game. And that one pelted straight out to the right field crowd. And that was an earthquake by Kai Murphy. I bet they felt that in San Antonio. Yeah, tied at 1-1 here in this one. Wow, that was just a big dinger right there as it bounces off the concrete pavement. And now it is a 1-1 tie. Marcos Castañon coming up now.
Ball.
As he gets in and takes a ball outside as the count now 1-0. Sod Poodles lead the Rockhounds 3-2, 4th inning. And so far, good there at Wateridge Field in downtown Amarillo there, John. I got to agree. Love that ballpark. Tie ball game between San Antonio and Corpus Christi. Northwest Arkansas 3-1 against the Tulsa Drillers.
That missed. That's a ball.
Springfield and Wichita tied 2-2, bottom of the 6th. And so far, pretty good. That's right there. The count now 3-2. Here's the pitch. And that is right there, but they're going to argue that one. And it was right down in the middle, so that is an upheld called third strike. And that will be out number 1. Jackson Wolf coming in now. First time for him using a bat. He's normally starting off in a starting pitcher or relief pitcher, but tonight he'll be behind the bat. Out number 2 is Wolf doesn't get out there for that much long. But so far, he is out number 2. Jose Fleury looking at his stats of his pitch arsenal tonight. 40% of his four-seam fastball has been in there. The changeup, pretty much in there. And that one is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. The slider definitely in there as well at a 29%. That one is high flying in the air straight to left field, and that is going to be the final out. But you look at this one guy, Kai Murphy hits that one, and it ties up the ball game at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, straight ahead for the Hooks Baseball Network. So we'll be right back here in this one as Walker Janek will lead it. And we'll be right back here in the Corpus Christi Baseball Network. About set to go for the bottom of the 3rd right now for the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, Bob, why don't you go ahead and do some, because I know you're there waiting patiently. Okay, John. Well, lean it off to the bottom of the 3rd inning is Walker Janek as he comes in. Ready to go. Here is Lizarraga getting in, and right there and in for a cold strike. It's a count now 0-1. Walker is 9-1-2 against Victor Lizarraga. He's a point average of a 337. That one high in the air to Carpathios as he gets that one for out number one. Beautiful line shot as he captures that one there, Bob. And gotta say, pretty good for Carpathios to get that one for out number one. Indeed. Riley Unroe coming in, who is 0 for 1, and so far hits that one out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch, and that one out of play. Still hanging on. Is the count now 1-1. No balls and 2 strikes. Where are you at there, Bob? I thought it was 1-1 the count. I mean, let me tell you. And that is a swing and a miss. Gets him outfold for strike 2. And the third strikeout coming in.
Center fielder.
Now you're confusing me. What the heck? Well, anyway, I think it was a pretty long day, and all-knowingly only had a few hours of sleep last night because of those storms being rowdy.
One.
Well, that one is in for a strike. The count now 0-1 to Lucas Spence. No, John, I gotta say, I was up last night watching it too, and boy, I thought it was going to get very nasty, which evidently it did. Yeah, for sure. And it will get nasty again as we go into the overnight. Yeah, that's what the Weather Channel is saying. Strong to severe thunderstorms by overnight tonight. We could definitely see that in San Antonio as well. Indeed, we can. The 0-2. That one hits a Sanabria right there. Takes it himself, and that's a unassisted play. No runs hit to errors and nobody on for Corpus Christi. And we head to the 4th. It's 1-1 tie. Well, Ethan Salas will get on as we get set to go for the 4th inning when we come back here in the Hooks Baseball Network. Now set to go for the top half of the 4th inning right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Ethan Salas coming in. 3-4-5 due up for San Antonio. We'll take that one outside as 1 ball and no strikes. And that's a swing and a miss.
Now blew it right by him for the strike. And here's the 1-1. That one's going to be right there. And he gets down. Line drive for the base hit. Going to first, going to second. Stand-up double by Salas. He gets into scoring position.
Now batting, first baseman,
Boy, that's one
number
thing that
3.
makes the San Antonio Missions really happy about that. And especially those watching from San Antonio tonight. It's got to be a pretty good thing when you feel the base hits come in and you know that the team is in it to win it. That is for sure. Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman, coming up now. Can get the runner home from second. That one high in the air and out of play. Good thing that left fielder didn't caught it. That would have been a quick out number 1 for Sanabria. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is outside, and the count now 1-1. Boy, for those in San Antonio, they get 2 crispy tacos, or actually a double meat cheeseburger, courtesy of Whataburger. That coupon good for any day until June 30th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, again, the count now 2-2. Here's the 2-2. And that one's down. And that's a stolen base right there to third on a wild pitch. And boy, that fastball got away. They nearly picked him off. And so far, he went after it. But most evidently, that's where the stolen base came in. And that is right there, out number 1 as Sanabria swings after it. And that is out number 1 as he goes down swinging. Phew, ouch. Right fielders, Braden Carpathos as he comes in. Ready to go. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count now 0-1. A lineup to straightaway center would bring him home. And that is the count now 0-2. Boy, getting chasing in that dirt.
That's a ball.
That one is high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far, partly cloudy. Could have that severe thunderstorm watch get placed in on Corpus Christi by later on.
Number 40.
So the 5th strikeout as we look at it. Boy, I tell you one thing, pretty bad. That is right there. And here is Albert Fabian coming in, 1-for-1 single. Runner still holding on at third, and I bet you he's scratching his head saying, come on, get a base hit, will you? I'm waiting. That one is outside, count now 1-1. San Antonio can easily take this lead by a base hit. That one is out of play, foul. Still holding on is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at third. And that's in the dirt. And that will pretty much do. So, wasted RBI opportunity. They get a runner at third, but he couldn't come in across the score. And so far, that will pretty much do it for this half inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. Arturo Flores lean it off for Corpus Christi when we come back.
Well, just about set to go for the bottom of the fourth. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Arturo Flores, 3-4-5, due up against Victor Lizarraga. As he hits that one high in the air, right fielder Braden Carpathios does not move. And that is out number one.
Third baseman, number 41.
Trevor Austin, the third baseman, comes in a fly out last time around. Still a delayed start there in Frisco. Tell you one thing, I don't think that they are going to play baseball tonight. But we will definitely check the weather and see what's going on. Just for the sheer fun of it. That one is right there. The countdown, 0-2. And so far, well, I don't see anything going on. I mean, I wonder why they haven't started yet. Well, I don't know there, John. Could it mean that Valley Live is not displaying what they're supposed to be displaying?
Now
You do have a good point about that there, Bob.
number 29.
Yeah, it's telling me that they are still not starting. We'll definitely check the Doppler radar and see what they have around the area. There's nothing around the area, so I don't know why they're in a delay start. They are an hour and 10 minutes late getting into tonight. Here's Tyler Whitaker as he comes in, takes a strike. And the count now, 0-1. 1-for-1 single by Ty Whitaker. No balls and one strike to pitch. And that is in for the strike. The count now, 0-2. Northwest Arkansas leading 5-1 against Tulsa. Top of the ninth. 2-2 tie in Wichita. Top of the eighth against Springfield and the Wind Surge. Yo, 2. Downstairs, and the count now 1-2. Be the first two teams tonight out of that 4 will be finished. But I tell you, I think they started early. That's going to be right there. High in the air, straight away. And that is out of here. And Ty Whitaker takes it himself. And that is a 2-run to left field home shot. And the Hooks have it out in front, 3-1. Man, I gotta say, these boys doing pretty good as they come into this 5th game of the 6-game series. It sure does. Here's Carneal Pratt. Pratt coming in. We'll take that one down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Pop out last time is 0-for-1. But tell you one thing, it just seems odd. I mean, that this is the first time in the season that they have not given us any update. I mean, we'd have to go through Facebook to get updates from the Frisco Rough Riders just to see what the deal is. Why aren't they broadcasting on Valley Live? That's right there, high in the air and up to the left field, and that will pretty much do it. Well, 2 runs to the left field area will give back Corpus Christi the run, courtesy of this Ty Whitaker 2-run home run. Well, we head to the 5th inning, and the Hooks out in front, 3-1. All right, about set to go for the top half of the fifth inning right now.
Line here is this
In
will be
the-
86-80.
Dang, Bob, turn that down. But anyway, top of the fifth.
Ball.
The Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Okay, thank you. Well, the 7-hole batter, Rosemond
No, that's
Verdugo, getting going. As that is outside, the count now 2-0, but they'll argue the call. Still upheld on that one, so no doubt about it. Boy, just a good count now for Verdugo.
Here, what?
And that is in for a strike, and the count now 2-1. Wind up and a pitch, and that is in for a strike. The count now 2-2. A lot of 3-up, 3-down innings here tonight, but so far for San Antonio, just a 1 run. And right there, a strikeout.
Ty Murphy.
And that's the 7th one for number 53, Jose Fleury. Kai Murphy, the left fielder, coming in, and yes, he was a solo shot in the third as 1 for 1. Pretty good. Let's see if he could do this again.
Ball high.
And that one is outside for the count now, 1-1. Here's a 1-1.
No, ball.
And that's outside. The count now 2-0. Do apologize about that. Didn't mean to say 1-1, but uh-oh. Yep. Here we go. Now it's 1-1. So never mind. I won't say anything about that at all. That one foul. Corpus Christi leading this ball game 3-1, top of the fifth. And they're not going to like that one as Kai Murphy gets in. And, yeah, the call's going to get overturned, so he's got one more chance. So 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And that breaks the bat. And that is out number 3. Out number 2.
Now batting, second baseman.
Where am I this evening? Am I daydreaming or what? You're just like me nearly. Well, touche. Marcos Castañon coming in now as
Yeehaw.
getting in, and the count now 0-1. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2. San Antonio down in a 2-game losing streak. Corpus Christi down into a 2-game winning streak. Well, last night that 6-3 really helped it. And so far, they're trying to get another one here, but still a long way to go in this one. Right there, a swing and a miss, and that will do it for the half inning comes to an end. Well, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio. We had now 5.5. It is a 3-1 ball game. So we'll be right back here in this one as we get set to go here for the bottom half of the fifth inning straight ahead after these commercial messages. About set to go for the bottom of the fifth. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Caden Powell coming in, 8-9-1 due up. Bottom of the fifth inning for Corpus Christi here on the beach. Well, got to say, Arkansas and Frisco
Nope,
finally
ball.
getting their stream in, and top of the first inning. Automatic ball for Victor Lizarraga as he waited too long, and now the batter Caden Powell will get in a automatic ball. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Here's the pitch, and that one
that's a
is
ball.
outside. The count now 2-1. Here is the 2-1 offering. That one right there hit to Jackson Wolf. Or actually, not Jackson Wolf. Romeo
Now batting.
Sanabria gets that one by the second baseman, Marcos Castañon. Jackson Wolf plays the shortstop tonight. And that's going to be right there up to center as Roberts will get it. Makes the play, and that's a 1-out single continuing the half inning.
Number 82.
I do apologize if I've been a little bit confused today, but I think it's been a long day. I think we've literally seen a lot this week. But here's Riley Unroe as that is out of play in the count now, 0-1, as he fouls that one off. It's okay, John. We're all human here. Yeah, Bob, you're right. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. High in the air, straightaway left field. Murphy under it, makes the grab. And that is out number 2. Boy, Arkansas and Frisco
Center field.
getting to the
Number
late start
89.
here tonight. And only getting in at 8:19. Just an hour and 19 minutes, I would say. I think it was more than that.
High
That
one.
is right there in the end to Lucas Spence as he comes in. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch. High in the air, straightaway center. Roberts under it, makes the grab, and that's the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left for Corpus Christi. And we now head to the top half of the 6th inning. Wolf, Roberts, and Salas will lead it off for the 6th. And it's Corpus Christi leading by 2. Well, halfway here tonight in this broadcast on the Saturday evening. And so far, gotta say, just a pretty good hits and runs coming in. Combined in total of 4 runs here tonight, but so far many others will be in as well. But so far, just a pretty good evening as we have the night game and
Now
getting
pitching.
things going,
Number
ready
48.
for this half inning. Trey Dombrowski coming in as he'll get going. 4-seam curveball, a changeup, and a 2-seam fastball getting ready to go. Jackson Wolf lean it off when we get ready to return back to this broadcast. 3-1 Corpus Christi. Well, about set to go for the top half of the sixth inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Shortstop Jackson Wolf coming in as he'll take a strike inside. It's a count now 0-1. Welcome you back to the ballpark here in Corpus Christi. The Hooks out in front 3-1 here tonight as they lead San Antonio by 2. That one is right there, high in the air, straight to center field through for a hit. And that is the 4th for San Antonio hitting, which that is pretty good right there. Beautiful line drive by Jackson Wolf. Center fielder is Guy Roberts as he comes in, takes a strike. And the count now 0-1. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Don't forget, tomorrow evening we celebrate Dad's Day. It's Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. That one is a line really good, and that is out of here. And San Antonio ties it. Man, the mission's getting pretty good, but they are still a long way to go here in the ball game. And, yeah, I got to say, that was right in the line, out of the foul pole. But so far, pretty good on that. Well, Ethan Salas coming in as he gets ready to go. We'll take that one downstairs as 1-0. 1 for 2 double here tonight. Gotta say, another big road trip coming up on Monday. San Antonio hits to Arkansas. And that one's going to be crushed. Deep to right field. Gone. A home run. Boy, San Antonio coming back in this one as they power hit that one. And now it's 4-3 missions. Man, and I got to say, I think they have really got something going. Yeah, for sure. All right, we're getting some scores in. As we know, San Antonio leads this ball game 4-3. Amarillo leading Midland 4-2, bottom of the 6th inning. So far, the number 48, Trey Dombrowski, is out of this ball game after giving up the 3 runs that he gave up on. Our right-hander, Hudson Leach, is on the mound now in relief. A 4-seam slider, curveball slurve, and a circle change. We'll get in here for Corpus Christi. Boy, a tie ball game there in Northwest Arkansas. 5-5 against the Drillers, the bottom of the 9th, which that is pretty good. Romeo Sanabria comes in 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts. Boy, this is the first time that San Antonio getting in the ball game and leading this one. So 3 runs already home here. That is right there. Straightaway center through for a hit. Can't come up with it as it's out of his glove, and that will be through for an infield hit.
Number 22.
Boy, so far the San Antonio needs to get these last 2 games. That would be pretty good to see that happen in the weekend. Yeah, for sure, especially when we're in Corpus Christi tonight and tomorrow. In Arkansas next week, Corpus Christi heads to Tulsa. Well, they go to DCJ Field for the first time this year. And then after that, they'll head to Northwest Arkansas. Riverboat Field, looking forward to seeing Corpus Christi. San Antonio, after the Arkansas series next week, will head back to San Antonio and take on Amarillo. Last 6-game homestand for the Hooks, or for the Sod Poodles and the Missions.
Number 40.
But evidently, I've told everybody about the surprise, and I think you will see it when we're back on the live stream on Tuesday night, June 30th at 7:05 when we do take on Amarillo. That's right there, and that gets through for the liner straight away to right field, through for a hit. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Arkansas and Frisco were in a little bit of a rain delay. I think that's the reason why they run late tonight.
No, that's low. Ball.
Now Springfield leading Wichita 4-3. One-run ball game, and it's exactly like San Antonio and Corpus Christi. Top of the sixth, 1 out, 2-1 here in this one. But so far, pretty good. Here's the pitch, and that one is in for the strike. And the count now 1-1. Hey, John? Yes, go ahead, Bear Bob. We got some fans saying in San Antonio, there's a cloud. It's starting to light up really good by the sunset. Oh, is it? They're sending some pictures in, and so far, it looks pretty nice. Oh, yeah, that is pretty. And right there, a called third strike, and that will pretty much do for out number 2. Osman Verdugo getting out as he's out number 2. But look at this third inning, as this guy was the solo shot to right field, and just a look at that. Ain't that pretty? He had a beautiful line drive right there, and that was just absolutely beautiful there in the top of the third inning by the Murphy. And right there and outside, the count now 1-0. Nobody. 2-1, 2 out here in the top half of the sixth inning. San Antonio leading at 4-3. And that one is going to be driven out of play foul, 1-1. Boy, if the Sod Poodles win against Midland, then they would be 35 wins this season. Well, San Antonio trying to come in and win the last 2 of this series. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that one is out of play as it ricochets off the roof of that right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and here's the pitch, and that one's going to get fouled. Look out over there. Boy, trying to get something going in this one. 16 pitches for the reliever, Hudson Leach, and that's going to be driven up nicely deep to right field, high in the air, and that will do it. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and at least a couple left on. Bottom half of the sixth inning, San Antonio leads the game. It's 4-3. We're back here for the bottom of the sixth inning with Arturo Flores to lead it off when we come back. Well, excuse me. Man. We now head to the bottom half of the sixth inning as we get ready to go. Arturo Flores getting set. 1 for 2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. The 0-1 offering. That one right there. Liner straightaway through for a hit. And boy, tell you one thing, they are now a tying run there at first.
Now batting, third baseman.
Could be a lot of 3-up, 3-down innings here tonight, but the run's coming hopefully into a bunch. Yeah, I got to say, John, always good to see that happen. And that one is going to get smashed high in the air. And that one is gone. And Corpus Christi takes back the lead. Trevor Austin. Man, he powered that one out of here. No doubt about it. 387 foot. And that's a 2-run by Trevor Austin. So far looking pretty good as they try to get in here tonight and win it here for Corpus Christi. Here is Luis Baez, and that's going to be a base hit. Man, I tell you one thing, the hits are coming in, and it's like getting hit by lightning nearly. I got to agree. They're getting stung by wasps or hornets or whatever. Yeah, no joke. Well, the fourth inning, boy, number 24 getting in here and getting things going as he hits that one and breaks a 2-run over the wall. Pretty good. That was Ty Whitaker. Well, he swings and misses at the initial offering. And the count now at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Wind up and the pitch, here it goes. And that's in for a strike 2. Well, still a tied ball game. And yeah, they are now into extra innings. Top half of the 10th inning for Tulsa there in Northwest Arkansas. It's 5-5 the score. That one out of play. Still hanging on at 0-2 is Ty Whitaker. Boy, he's just trying to get on base and continue this half inning. Well, that's what Corpus Christi wants to do, is to win this one and head into tomorrow in the 0-2. And that one's fouled off. A lot of foul-off balls in this one. You get something going. And for sure there, Bob. Is the 0-2. Right there, called third strike, and they got him down. The backwards K, the third strikeout for Victor Lizarraga. Here is Carneal Pratt. As he'll hit that one out of play, foul. Now, I do see some pretty good pictures about those clouds reflecting from the sunset. Just absolutely beautiful when we all look at it. Well, right there straight away, the second, oh my goodness, and that is going to get away. So that will be a fielder's error on the shortstop. Jackson Wolf getting that one. And boy, I tell you one thing, I think well-deserved that was going to be a throwing error. Yep, Jackson Wolf deserved that one pretty much. And so far now, runners at first and second, but still hanging on. Caden Powell coming in now. And the pitch is inside for a cold strike. Gets the count down 0-1. Springfield leading 5-3 against Wichita. It's a tied ball game there in Riverboat Field. Top half of the 10th.
Arkansas and Frisco, bottom of the second after a big, huge rain delay. Boy, Corpus Christi leading 5-4 here in the bottom of the sixth inning in this broadcast. Amarillo leading Midland 4-2 at Waterridge Field in downtown Amarillo. They're at the bottom of the seventh. And that is going to be right there, a swing and a miss. And that will be out number 2. To the fourth strikeout, Victor Lizarraga coming in on top of that one. Walker Janek coming in now. 2-1, 2 out, bottom of 6. That is high in the air, straightaway center. Roberts has it, and there's no damage done. But Trevor Austin getting a 2-run shot, and they will take back the lead. So 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for San Antonio. And we head now to the 7th. The Hook's out in front. It's 5-4, Corpus Christi. Well, we'll get set to go for a new arm straight ahead for the Hooks. And we'll be right back as we go to the 7th for San Antonio. Well, hope you're getting ready for the 7th inning here. And so far, right-hander Sam Carlson getting on for Corpus Christi. 4-seam slider, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball getting ready to go for the Hooks right-hander in relief. Marcos Castañon, the second baseman, coming in. Boy, big, huge wall cloud out there in right field. Look at that. And that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Anthony Madondo and Cody Bolton getting going here for this relief pitching matchups coming into relief. That one is high in the air, straight away up to left field. And the left fielder will run it down, and that's out number 1. San Antonio shortstop Jackson Wolf coming in, 1-for-3 single. Getting that error in short as that ball sailed over Marcos Castañon. That one hit right there to second. Throw down to first in time, and that's a quick out number 2. And I'll tell you one thing there, John. 2 outs, nothing doing. That's just showing weak hitting right there for this ball club. Kai Roberts coming in as he hit in there. 1 ball and no strikes. So far going to be an active night here at the baseball park. It's nice and quiet, at least for now, but overnight tonight it will be stormy. But nothing wrong about getting that much needed rainwater. And that one is hit high in the air, straight away, gone. And we are tied again. Boy, Kai Roberts' 2nd home run of this ball game comes in across the score for San Antonio. And now it's 5-5. Boy, thinking if this continues as well as it goes, we could have extra innings tonight. Boy, San Antonio dugout really celebrating that one by Kai Roberts. Here is Ethan Salas. As he gets in, we'll take that one in for a strike, and the count now at 0-1. Boy, pretty good right there.
Oh, that missed.
And that will miss as well. The count now 1-1. And that's right there in the count now 1-2. So far starting to get dark here in the top half of the 7th inning. And the pitch. That one's right there. Ground ball straight away second. Throw down to first. And that is the half inning. Guy Roberts on his 2nd home run of this ball game will tie it up, and it's 5-5. We now head to the bottom of the 7th. It's Take Me Out to the Ball Game. San Antonio and Corpus Christi tied 5.
Well, got to say, we head now into the bottom half of the seventh inning, but before that, John's got something pretty good that we get ready to go. Take it away, John. Well, thank you, Bob. As we all know, that 4th of July coming up, and so far, going to be a pretty interesting celebration as we celebrate 250 years of America, and so far, a land of the free and home of the brave, and we thank our military and service members for the freedoms that we have each and every day. Not a day goes by that we shouldn't be thankful for every man and woman that has sacrificed themselves in honor of our flag, our heritage, and for what makes America free again and what makes it a greater place to live. But I got to say, as we honor the 4th of July, and as we have the barbecues, the families, and those around us help us celebrate a safe and happy 4th of July. And this year, San Antonio taking on the Amarillo Sod Poodles as we go through that weekend. And got to say, got to be a pretty good one, as July 4th is on a Saturday. But this 4th of July, San Antonio will cancel Bark in the Park in honor to have fireworks shows for 3 nights there in San Antonio. And I got to say, going to be pretty good. Just wanted to give you the little follow-up update of what we have planned out for this 4th of July. San Antonio down to the last homestand of the first half against Amarillo. And got to say, pretty good on that. Well, anyway, just about set to go for the bottom half of the 7th inning for Corpus Christi. And hope you've enjoyed your 7th inning stretch here at the ballpark as we get ready to go here in this one. Oh, but anyway, before we do that, we'll go ahead and give you a final score. Springfield there in Wichita has called that ball game, and now the Wind Surge will take the 4th place position in the North, now with 29 and 37. Wow, pretty good getting into that there, John. That is good. Wichita now 28 and 37 of the year here. And so far, just a pretty good one, if you ask me. Much needed win to put Wichita down in last place in the North Division. And so far, pretty good. Amarillo in front of Midland, bottom half of the 8th inning, there at Water Ridge Field in downtown Amarillo. The Sod Poodles out in front, 4-3. We are deadlocked at 5-5 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Corpus Christi against the San Antonio Missions. Boy, already the top half of the 11th inning there in Northwest Arkansas. A 5-5 ball game, but so far Tulsa now cracking 2 runs over the wall and now getting into a 7-5 lead. And so far Arkansas and Frisco, bottom of the 3rd, getting into the ball game tonight as they had almost an hour and 45-minute rain delay there in Frisco, Texas. And so far, just one heck of a time there in the Rough Riders organization getting in for that one. So, I'm going to say pretty good. As first 2 teams done here today, Springfield and Wichita. Boy, look at that. That bottom half of the 3rd inning. And, boy, that will score in a run for the Rough Riders. As, boy, Drilling doing really good for Frisco. And so far, Martinez as well. Also a good prospect in the Texas Rangers organization.
for the Frisco Rough Riders. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get you back to the ball game as we give you to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And so far, just wanted to give you an update of what we're doing this 4th of July. And in honor to celebrate the 250th birthday of America. Leading it off is Riley Unruh, 0 for 3 as he pops that one high in the air, foul. And the count now, 0-1. Well, mound visit now as that will be it for Victor Lizarraga as he comes in. And so far, the next one up is Fernando Sanchez as he gets up in relief first time around for San Antonio. But anyway, tied ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now pitching.
And so far, pretty good. Fernando Sanchez coming in, four-seam slurve, circle, change cutter, and a sinker. Getting ready to go in relief for the left-handed guy on the mound for San Antonio here in this one. Riley Unruh greets him up the first time around. And the pitch, and that's going to be right there. And not in time. Boy, the third baseman, he gets an error. Oh, ouch. What was he thinking? Oh, man, that's going to put a sad look on that manager's face. He's like, oh, come on, boys. You can play better than that. Second error of the night. Now Rosemond Verdugo gets an error. Jackson Wolf also gets an error tonight for San Antonio. But, you know, try to make it better for this ball club tonight. Make the manager happy. The pitching coach, the hitting coach, the manager in general. The assistant manager who also comes in. I mean, so far in all, you have to make everybody happy, or else you'll get a good talking to at the end of tonight. 1-1, here's the pitch, and that one is inside. The count now 1-2. Once that manager gives you that good talking to, I bet you he ain't going to have nothing nice to say, but none of our beeswax when we say it. But that manager will have something to say. Well, out number one, as that will do for Sanchez getting a strikeout. But so far, pretty good. Frisco now leading Arkansas 1-0 in the top half of the 4th inning, and so far just a late night tonight for them. Getting underway there at Statesman's Park. Wind up and the pitch by Arturo Flores as he comes in and takes a fastball in for a strike. And the count now 0-1. Arturo Flores pretty good here tonight as 2 for 3. And here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss, and the count now at 0-2. Flores 2 for 3, home run, single, RBI, and 2 runs here tonight for Corpus Christi. The 0-2, and that is right there. Sanabria at Jackson. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Now that
What is wrong with this guy?
number 41.
Jackson Wolf now gave himself a second error. Overshot it right into the crowd.
Yeah, I bet you so far that is going to be something that you don't want to even like.
Well, the player card, well, I'll tell you one thing, not pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and substitution of that bullpen. And so far, we do have a second baseman out there. But Jackson Wolf, the shortstop, is definitely going to get the boots. And yes, it will be him getting in there. They will eject Jackson Wolf. And so far, he ain't happy about that as pretty much put him out of his misery on top of those 2 errors. The manager is going to get him, and yep, there he goes now. That manager is saying, hey, you made 2 errors. What's your deal? And almost hurting someone. Now you're just going to get out of this ball game, no doubt about it. If your head is not in the ball game, it shouldn't even be in to the throwing that he's been doing. And hey, two of those errors is a equal out a ejection, but most likely that will pretty much do it. That's going to be right there. And not in time, and Corpus Christi now takes back the lead. And it is a 1-run ball game. So hooks and missions, both combined tonight, have really put the hits into play tonight, and the runs coming in of total of 11. Luis Baez coming in now, and here's a pitch to him. And that is going to be an inside strike. The count now 0-1. 2 for 3, 2 singles, a run by to the right fielder, Baez. Tell you one thing, Jackson Wolf, he deserved getting ejected out of this ball game. No doubt about it. I mean, almost hitting somebody by an overthrow shot. And that would definitely be unavoidable getting out of this ball game tonight. High in the air, straight away, up in time, as that will do it. And that will end the half inning. Trevor Austin getting a run in. And, oh yeah, 3 errors. Look at that. Strike 3 and you're out for Jackson Wolf. And that will do it. Top half of the 8th set to go. And it is Corpus Christi 6-5.
Well, about set to go for the top half of the 8th inning right now on the Hooks Baseball Network.
All right, we do have a projection coming in as Amarillo now winning their 35th against Midland. The final score, a close one. Sod Poodles 4, Rockhounds 3. And gotta say, just a really good ball game there in that one. So we'll go ahead and get that going. So Amarillo now 35 and 32 in second place, and Midland down in last place, now getting their 37th loss of the season. And yep, so far that'll pretty much do for those two teams. The second two that are done in that line. Well, anyway, final 6 ball clubs tonight: Arkansas, Frisco, Tulsa, Northwest Arkansas, San Antonio, and Corpus Christi going at it tonight. Well, I gotta say, for Jackson Wolf, he was ejected out of the previous inning. And so far now, Jagger Haynes now filling in for the shortstop position. About set to go here in the top half of the 8th inning as here is Romeo Sanabria. And so far, pretty good. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be right there. Ground hop straight away second. Throw down to first and in time. And that is out number 1. Weak fly contract by that one. And so far, the right fielder, Braden Carpathios, coming in. So far, if we know that a player is not doing good, then the home plate umpire will say enough is enough. Or a manager comes out and pulls them off the field and say, look, now 3 errors. It's not 2. It's 3 errors here tonight. And I believe that one of them was Rosemond Verdugo there at third. And the 2 was Jackson Wolf. Lambert Santa and Alejandro Torres starting to warm up in Corpus Christi, the bullpen. But, you know, severe consequences come in when you don't have your head in the ball game. And that's what infuriates a manager these days is when you make that many errors and they will pull you into the clubhouse and say, look, you know, if you're making this many errors, then you shouldn't be out on the field. You know, you should be in, you know, playing your position. But, well, he was not happy getting out of this ball game tonight. What do you think about that there, Bob?
I don't think he was happy, but evidently if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, then why have him in?
Exactly. Anthony Madondo coming in now. ERA at 12.
But, you know, John, I get your point, what you're saying.
That one driven up high in the air, straight away. And that one is out of here. And San Antonio gets in again, ties it up. And Albert Fabian gets going.
Man, and that's a pretty good line straight up to center field through for a base hit. The first pitch he got, and he drilled it right out.
Boy, and they are celebrating in that dugout. I would be too if I was in there. Now tied again, 6-6. Top half of the 8th inning.
So far, pretty good.
Boy, and it's still going there in Northwest Arkansas. Bottom half of the 11th, and we'll see where they're going. Rosemond Verdugo, 2 strikeouts, a pop-out, 0 for 3 tonight for San Antonio. 6-6 ball game, top of the 8th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. A home run in front of this one. But tell you one thing, getting pretty good. That one is right there. The count now 2-1. 7-5 Tulsa. Looks like the Drillers.
That's a ball.
Boy, we'll pull up the Texas League deal right there. And it looks like the 44th win for Tulsa is inbound. Drillers really have a pretty good finesse of getting those wins. And through the series in Northwest Arkansas, it was pretty good. All right, we got a new projection. The Tulsa Drillers now takes their 44th there against Northwest Arkansas. So 44-23, Northwest Arkansas 29-38. And now the 6 teams that are done tonight. So it'll be Arkansas, Frisco, San Antonio, and Corpus Christi. That one high in the air, straight away up to right field, and that will do it for the half inning comes to an end. But Albert Fabian getting in here and getting something going, and now ties up the ball game, and now 6-6 as we head for the bottom of the 8th coming up. We'll take a quick breather here as Ty Whitaker getting in. And so far, we'll be right back here in the broadcasts. Well, just about set to go for the bottom of the 8th. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Ty Whitaker coming in, 6-7-8, due up against Fernando Sanchez, who is 2 for 3 for Corpus Christi tonight. And that one will be in for the cold strike as the count now at 0-1. 6-6 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that one is hit out of play foul. Count now, 0-2. Here's a pitch. And that one is foul. No balls, 2 strikes, a pitch. That one is right there. And that's going to get in. Nope, never mind. So that will be an infield hit for
Left fielder.
Ty
number
Whitaker.
80.
So, who was that out there? Was that the shortstop playing, or was that the second baseman Castagnon? I think it was the shortstop, so he's pretty much getting going out there. Yeah, he is. Right there up to the left field is Murphy as he intercepts that one, and that is out number 1.
Now batting. The
Boy, tied at this ball game here in the later innings. Here's the shortstop, Caden Powell, as he comes in. Hits that one high in the air, straight away center. And that is out number 2. Well, Jackson Wolf sure got a good talking to. I imagine he did there in the dugout. Walker Janek coming in, a 1-for-3 single. Now putting on a new shortstop, I should say. I have to tell you one thing, it was a pretty good idea of seeing something like that happen. I have to tell you, it's pretty good. 1-0 delivery, and that's going to get hit high in the air straight away up the right field, and that will be out number 3. Carlos, how you doing? Hello there. Well, top half of the 9th inning here in Corpus Christi as we exit 8.5. And so far now on to the 9th as Castagnon comes in. So it'll be Castagnon, Haynes, and Roberts to get ready to go. So it'll be the shortstop, Jagger Haynes, getting out there at the shortstop area after the previous shortstop was immediately ejected after the 2 errors that he committed. And so far, he is out of this ball game, no doubt about it. Well, we head for the 9th inning here in Corpus Christi. Still a tied ball game at 6-6.
Ninth inning set to go for San Antonio. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Marcos Castañon leading it off. Jagger Haynes, next batter up, and Ty Roberts.
Ball, that's outside.
Top of the ninth inning here for those three prospects. 9-1-2 up for Anthony Maldonado as he comes in. Anthony Maldonado, I should say, pronounce his last name. And that one is out of here. And that will bounce the fence into the water. And San Antonio now gets a home run by Marcos Castañon. And it is now a one-run ball game. Boy, I gotta say, now this is a ball game. It is. Well, San Antonio trying to finish it off here tonight. Boy, and they are coming in. They got to keep this momentum up until the very last out. So that tells you one thing, that we now have to play the bottom of the ninth inning against Corpus Christi. 400 on the distance of that fastball. 106.1 mile per hour. And so far, that is going to do for that right-handed reliever.
Now pitching.
Well, up now, a new right-hander, Jaden Murray, is getting in for Corpus Christi. ERA 1.54. Innings pitched is 11-2. A strikeout rate of 17 and 0%, 269 over a 167 on the average of a right-handed batter to a left-handed batter. The shortstop, Jagger Haynes, coming in. Filling in new for San Antonio's shortstop position after Jackson Wolf just decided to overshoot the two errors that he got on him. And that's going to be right there high in the air straight away, and that is out number one. Well, it's a good thing that any player that just fails to comply with playing the game and making so many errors could be a substitution to ejection. That pretty much right there on that one. Well, Ty Roberts getting that home run, as you've seen in the early goings of this broadcast, which that is pretty good. Roberts 2 for 4 here in this broadcast. That is right there straight away. Ground hop up to first in time. Received by the second baseman.
Now batting.
Out to the first base area for the out. Well, sixth inning as we look at number 90. And a pretty good baseball game here tonight for him as he comes in and drills in a home run. Gotta say, just a pretty good night here in Corpus Christi. That one's right there. Liner straight away. He stops it. He gloves it right to first in time. And with that, the side is retired. Well, San Antonio gets a run on 2 hits, no errors, and at least one left. We have now to the bottom half of the ninth inning, and it is a one-run ball game for San Antonio, 7-6, in the Hooks Baseball Network. We'll be right back. Well, we now head to the bottom of the ninth inning for Corpus Christi. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Riley Unroe coming in, 1-2-3, bottom of 9. 1-run ball game trail for the Hooks, trailing the San Antonio Missions here in this one. Wind up and the pitch, and that's going to be right there up to the right field area, and that is through for a hit. Now the winning run for Corpus Christi comes in. Boy, hopefully San Antonio could get a pretty good victory here tonight. If they hold off the final 3 runs and the final 3 outs of this ball game, that would be pretty good. Lucas Spence coming in as he comes and takes that one in for a strike. The count now 0-1. 0 for 4, strikeout, fly out, and 2 ground outs to the Corpus Christi center fielder. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Man, he chased that one out in the dirt. And the count now 0-2. It's bottom of the 5th. It's a tie ball game there at Statesman's Park. It's 2-2 against Arkansas and Frisco. San Antonio 7-6 in this ball game. Bottom of 9. High pop up. Third baseman Verdugo under it makes the play. Out number 1.
Now batting, first baseman, number 99.
And that'll bring in the first baseman, Arturo Flores. 2 for 4. Home run, a single. And I got to say, pretty good. Those 3 runs, pretty good for him here tonight. Wind up and the pitch, and that is downstairs. And the count now at 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. The count now to Flores, as that one is ricocheted right off the ground. One and one the count now. And the pitch. And that one's going to be high in the air, straightaway up to left field. And Murphy intercepts it. So that is out number 2. And San Antonio, only 1 out to deal with. And they will get the victory if Trevor Austin could get out of this one. Trevor Austin is 2 for 4. And boy, look at that. A base hit gets him going. Now the winning run is up to first base. Man, and I'll tell you one thing there, John. San Antonio needs this victory here tonight. And so far, I sure hope they could get up there. I sure hope they could get up there too. There, Bob. Well, here is Luis Baez trying to get one more out of the half inning, as that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. 2 for 4, 2 singles and a run by Baez. And I tell you one thing, pretty good in that one. The 0-1. Downstairs, and it's 1-1. 2-1-2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. San Antonio leading 7-6 against Corpus Christi. 1-1. And that one is yanked foul. And it's the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And here's the pitch. And that one is yanked foul. Down to the final strike for Corpus Christi. 1-2. Strike 3 called, and they got him. And the ball game ends as San Antonio gets their 34th of the season. Boy, what a win. And finally, San Antonio now into a 1-game winning streak. Corpus Christi now getting out of a 2-game winning streak. Boy, gotta say there, John, that was rough around the edges, if you know what I mean. And to tell you one thing, pretty good ball game as it was tie-ups all along the night. And gotta say, so far, just a pretty good one getting into this game. And the final score of this matinee tonight, 7-6 for San Antonio. 7 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors for the Missions here tonight. Corpus Christi, 6-12-0. Boy, Kai Roberts, 2 for 5, 2 home runs, and 3 RBIs. Fernando Sanchez getting the W here today. Anthony Maldonado will get the loss. Maldonado, I got to sound his name out. But most evidently, yeah, doing that here as well. Well, anyway, we are down in this one. And I do believe, yep, there we go. We just got to get that right there and that right there. Okay, so that makes 8 ball clubs out finished tonight. Now, Arkansas and Frisco are the only 2 ball clubs that are not done. And believe it or not, bottom of the 5th inning there in Frisco against the Arkansas Travelers. But I tell you one thing, it gets pretty interesting when, you get into that late start of a ball game, and because you've been rained out, and so far pretty good about that. But it was about an hour and 50-minute rain delay, which gave them the late start. Their first pitch time was 7:05. They started at 8:20. And got to say, they're going to have a late night tonight getting into this one, because as we wrap up here tonight, it's now 9:39, and 8 ball clubs are now finished for the night, so that's pretty good. Well, anyway, one more game in Corpus Christi tomorrow, and so far after tomorrow night, we will definitely wrap up this week's baseball games in Corpus Christi. Well, Arkansas fans, hope you are ready, because the visiting San Antonio Missions come to your ballpark next week. And so far, hope y'all are ready and super excited for the Missions to come to your home ballpark. Well, anyway, we do look at the weather. And for San Antonio, boy, chance of rain is 60% tonight. Boy, I tell you one thing, I don't think that's going to be rain. I think it's going to be downright thunderstorms when we all look at it. But anyway, if you've seen the 2-hour video in San Antonio, I got to say, that was pretty rough, if you know what I mean. We've seen power outages. We've seen, from other people, not just my video only, but we have seen some wicked stuff. And I got to say, just rough around the edges when we have that type of weather. But anyway, we look at thunderstorms are now being moved back, possible at 3 o'clock. That right there looking pretty good. Boy, hopefully, it's going to be quiet for now, but we can't rule out the possibility of more thunderstorms, more flooding rains as we go along the way. Well, the great state of Kansas getting some pretty good thunderstorms now, and looking off to the west of Wichita,
boy, Hayes and Russell getting pounded by rain and thunderstorms. That is Hayes and Russell, Kansas, which that right there is pretty good. But looking at Oklahoma, boy, Oklahoma sure is in the clear tonight. There is no severe weather. People are playing their ball games, and north of Little Rock, Arkansas, as you can see, there's nothing going on there. Everybody had a good time playing baseball tonight. Mother Nature was at her decency here tonight. But later on, we'll have those thunderstorms get going. But yeah, top half of the sixth inning for Arkansas as it's 2-2 ball game for Arkansas and Frisco. And boy, just got to say, that was one of them things. Yeah, so pretty good night there. Is, glad we're pretty much finished here tonight. But, still eliminated is the two teams that you see here tonight is San Antonio and Corpus Christi. But, yeah, we'll go ahead and give you your first half in here as we look at the Texas League standings. Frisco, 2.5. Amarillo in second place, leading by a game and a half against San Antonio. San Antonio 4 up against Corpus Christi. And boy, a bunch down in last place is the Midland Rockhounds. Tulsa taking that 7-5 victory against Northwest Arkansas. And they lead 44-23. In first place, 3.5 against the Arkansas Travelers. And, well, so far, if Arkansas beats Frisco tonight there at Statesman's Park, that could be a real game changer. Yeah, I got to say there, John, it could be a pretty good one. But most evidently, it will be a pretty good one if they come in and get something going. That is for sure. Well, anyway, I got to say, for these two ball clubs, San Antonio and Corpus Christi, they are down to their final 4 meetups of this year's contests. And got to say, as we look at it, the second half will roll in by Friday, July 17th. And I got to say, after that Sunday game, we are pretty much saying goodbye to Corpus Christi for a long while. But anyway, as we look at it, we'll have in the second half Frisco, Amarillo, Springfield, Frisco, Northwest Arkansas, Springfield, Midland, and Amarillo. So basically, everything that we are seeing right now, we don't play Corpus Christi anymore after those last 3. So pretty much after that, Hooks are pretty much out doing their thing, and San Antonio pretty much doing their thing. But we look at the let's see, what date is that? Okay, there we go. That would be the 21st. So Amarillo goes to Corpus Christi, and Frisco taking on San Antonio. Midland is in Wichita. Wow. Arkansas at, Tulsa at Arkansas, and Springfield at Northwest Arkansas. But tell you one thing pretty good about that. Then it's 6 games at Amarillo for the San Antonio Missions. And do believe it or not, we will have our one and only 6-game set in Amarillo, or actually 12 in Amarillo. I do apologize about that, but evidently 12 times in Amarillo, that would be pretty good as well. But anyway, we thank y'all for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. And so far, we say so long until tomorrow evening. For all of us, happy Saturday. And yes, fireworks just got done, so hope y'all had a pretty good night with the family, with the friends and everything. And so far, that's what baseball does. It brings us together in these days. But anyway, our game time tonight, 2 hours, 38 minutes into this one. And so far, pretty good. Well, I'm Jonathan Baker, and alongside with my partner, Bob, see y'all tomorrow evening. Have a good night. And one more time, our final score. Bob, go ahead. Well, San Antonio 7 and Corpus Christi 6. Well, that is for sure. Well, y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all again soon.